All right, there we go. I do think we are live. Yeah, it says we are live. Obviously I normally have the fancy bed and all those kind of things, but I'm in an airport. Hold on, I've got it. I've still got it. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna give you
It's a
what you
special
deserve
John
because
Lund
you waited
Unleashed 49ers
45
Camp
minutes.
Report Edition. Shout out to Lund loyalists watching on YouTube, those watching on X, Instagram, Facebook, and JohnLundUnleashed.com and the Lund Lunatics listening to the podcast on Apple and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe and like John Lund Unleashed on YouTube and keep those alerts on so you don't miss anything. Now with the latest on the 49ers and the NFL, here's Johnny.
Oh, look who showed up. I swear, this time it wasn't my fault. I'm coming to you live from an airport. Lots of people staring at me. This guy holding a microphone. Hey, what's he yelling at? Why is he so obnoxious? Why was he drinking at the airport bar for so long? I wasn't. I got through security. Might have held me up a little bit. It was that movie Midnight Run. They had the drug guy in Turkey. That was actually a true story. But anyway, I don't care that people are staring at me. It is great to be aboard. I do have some of the videos and stuff that I was going to talk about, but good evening. I told you 7:45. I thought that's when we were going to be here, but I've got about 20 minutes, and that's all I'm good for anyway. But I've got about 20 minutes here, so welcome. John Lund Unleashed from places unknown in an airport where people are staring at me. We got a lot to talk about, not only Niners related. I don't have a board. I had a board. Lost the board. Long story. At least I'm here. Better late than never, but maybe never would be better. I don't know. We'll find out in about 20 minutes, but let me make sure. Hi, everyone. I'll do roll call in just a second. And I normally, as you well know, if you're new, by the way, John Lund Unleashed, YouTube, make sure that you're watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the like button. The algorithm likes that. And make sure that you have your alerts on all the time so that I can bother you all through the day. Here's something new for you. And we always start Niners, but when I say always, I'm going to make an exception. So I guess we don't always start Niners. This will be that rare exception. Hey, Jerry Jones, I get it, man. It came out today that you, again, have the most valuable franchise in all of the NFL. And I've told you this before, worked in Dallas. Jerry keeps score a different way. He likes to have the highest valuation. All his rich owners go, ha, 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 ha. You know, one owner comes up and he's got the Super Bowl ring from the previous year, and Jerry goes, "That's great. My team is worth $12.6 billion. I'm worth $12.6 billion. How about that glory hole? How about them Cowboys?" That's what he cares about. And so clearly he didn't want to pay Micah Parsons $47 million. Problem, a few things with that is, first of all, he had three guys to pay a year ago. One was Dak Prescott, who plays the most important position. I get it. One was CeeDee Lamb, who doesn't play the most important position, and one was Micah Parsons. Of those three, Micah Parsons was the best player, and he didn't pay the best player. Not the most important position, but he didn't pay the best player. Two, he trades him to Green Bay, who not now. They're not a rival to the Cowboys anymore, and I think Green Bay is probably the favorite in the NFC now. And so if I was the Lions, if I was the Rams, if I was the Eagles, if I was a contender in the NFC, I'd be pissed. Trade him the AFC. You don't think Buffalo would have given him 2 first-round picks, or somebody in the AFC would have given up 2 first-round picks? He doesn't care, because he knows now that on Thursday, not everybody's going to talk about the Eagles. They're going to talk about the dumb trade. And Jerry's philosophy is no publicity is bad. He just loves publicity. He doesn't care. So he's just going to keep the pub going and hope that they talk about Micah, good, bad, or indifferent, and Green Bay all of a sudden is the favorites. And then as far as the trade is concerned, stay with me on the math here. Micah Parsons a few years ago was the 12th overall pick in the draft. You steal the guy, right? You steal the guy. He's on a Hall of Fame path. He was a first-round pick. So you get 2 back plus Kenny Clark, who's an okay player. So if you just use a little bit of math here, you used a first-round pick for Dallas to get him. So when you get 2 back, it's only net 1. And you got a player who is a generational talent. And the chances of getting that, especially where Green Bay's pick's going to be near the end of the first round, probably not very high. So, look, it's a bad trade. And I tell you this all the time, 90% of the time, if you get the best player in the trade, you win the trade. Are there exceptions, Herschel Walker? Yes. Are there exceptions, Fernando Tatis Jr.? Yes. But generally speaking, by a large margin, that is the case. So, Dallas on a platter may have put the NFC Championship in Green Bay. And what it also smacks of for 49ers fans is, and again, Dallas isn't a contender anymore, but it's like when Eddie D just got sick of Charles Haley and just went, go to Dallas then. Fine, we'll trade you to Dallas. You just don't do that if you're competent at all, but the Cowboys aren't. And so they trade him to Green Bay, everybody in the NFC that's a contender. And I'd like to think, and I know you'd like to think, that the 49ers are contenders. So that doesn't help the 49ers. That's not great. The whole situation's not great. And that's the lead story. And I'm pretty shocked by it. As far as the 49ers interest, I would imagine that they probably made that call to good old Jerry Jones, and he probably fancies himself that the Niners are more of a rival than the Packers. I don't know how he could think that right now, but he probably does and wouldn't trade him to the 49ers. And think about it. They could give up 2 first-round picks, even though that they were probably gun-shy because they gave up 2 for Trey Lance. And you might be gun-shy too, but listen to my logic here. And I'm not very logical sometimes, and I get it. But Trey Lance is sight unseen, right? It's like playing. This is why I like poker over blackjack, for example. In blackjack, you put your money out, then you see your cards, right? Money out, see your cards. In poker, you see your cards, then you put your money out. Well, I know what Micah Parsons is. I've seen him. He's worth 2 first-round picks. So I'll put my money out then. I'll play that hand. Micah Parsons, 2 first-round picks? Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Because, again, for the Cowboys, it's net one. You're losing a first-round pick that you took just a few years ago for Micah Parsons, and you don't get those kind of players. So you're net one on that. So if I'm the 49ers, I've seen Micah Parsons play, and if I put him opposite Nick Bosa, you know what I would have done? I'd have said, look, here's a first-round pick, Mikael Williams from this year. He's an edge guy. I'll give you Mikael Williams, a number 1 pick, and then, take Juwan Jennings if you want. I'd have given up Jennings, Mikael Williams, and a 1 for Micah Parsons yesterday. No problem. Move along. We'll get to Juwan Jennings in a minute. But anyway, the Cowboys are just incredibly stupid. And then Jerry Jones tries to save face somehow by saying, I could have done this back in April. Well, why didn't you do it? Because the other problem that he has is some teams probably couldn't afford Micah at this point. Their salary structures are set. Their rosters are set. He had a limited amount of teams that he could trade. Micah Parsons, too. The Niners might have been one of them because, as we talked about last night, remember we did all the math and I told you I hated to do numbers, but I did it under request because that's the kind of guy I am. Well, now Dallas does. They have had the most cap space in the league, so they had the cap space to absorb a contract like this. They've signed all their guys. I showed you last night. They don't have really anybody to sign in 2026. Not a big Juwan Jennings guy, and we'll get to the money in just a second, which I've been telling you for weeks. The news that broke today was not breaking news. I've been telling you that for weeks. He wanted $20 million. I told you that weeks ago. So anyway, and that was the problem here. But apparently it's breaking news today that somebody said that. But anyway, I digress. What a horrible trade by the Cowboys. Just a horrendous trade. And anybody who spins it any other way, that they got 2 first-round picks and they got Kenny Clark and they're going to be better. First of all, Dallas drafts terribly, and they got lucky. And all of a sudden it's like, they're drafting near the end of the first round. That's where they got like a guy like Mazzie Smith or something like that. I mean, just, God, give me a break. You don't trade guys like Micah Parsons. And, yeah, $47 million is a lot of money for a defensive lineman. Have you checked where the salary cap in the NFL is going? Do you know where the revenue in the NFL is going? Up, 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 which means that's where the cap is going. It's jumped $25 million in the last 2 years. It's just going up and up and up. So these astronomical salaries that you're looking at, they're just keeping up with the salary cap. They're not crazy. Hey, would this guy shut up, man? I'm trying to do a show here. I've got about 10 minutes left. Anyway, that's the lead story today. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that we hit that. Let's see, what else do I have? Anyway, I cannot believe this trade that I saw that today. I actually pulled over. If you go to at John Lund Radio on X, I pulled over and was like, I got to get this on X right now. I got to get this out or I'm going to be really pissed. Anyway, it just reminds me of when Charles Haley went to the Cowboys from the Niners, because I was like, these owners just don't get it. And I'm not going to pay $47 million. It's like when Gruden said he wasn't going to pay Mac $20 million because he had a $20 million quarterback and that wouldn't work. It's just, that's the way the league goes. That's the going rate for a guy like Micah Parsons. We were out, oh my God, Nick Bosa got $34 million as an edge rusher. It just goes up every year. That's the cost of business, Jared. If you don't like it, sell that $12.6 billion team. Ain't doing that. Anyway, there you go. That's it. There is Micah Parsons. All right, give me your thoughts on that. If you want to do that, we'll call that the NFL Wire tonight because we can't get all fancy and we don't have all the graphics and all the music because, like I said, it was lucky to get on from the airport tonight. Other big story, as I told you, is it came out that Juwan Jennings wanted $20 million. Well, it really didn't come out because I've been telling you that for about 3 weeks. But it came out, and now people are calling it breaking news, whatever. Doesn't matter really to me. Now, I told you at the beginning, I said they thought, the Niners and Juwan Jennings, the Niners thought that they could kind of wrap this up rather quickly. Calf contract. It's really contract calf, but the contract calf situation, they thought they could wrap it up quickly. They thought they could do a situation kind of like Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey last year. It was like, we'll tack on, we'll guarantee some money, give you a few more bucks, good to go. That's what they thought was going to happen at the beginning. They're pretty optimistic of that. And then Juwan Jennings started to throw around a number with a 2 in front of it. Again, been telling you that for weeks. And when that happened, that's when things stopped. Haven't been talking. They've been using the calf as a cover-up. And essentially what's going on is absolutely nothing. Say it again. Absolutely nothing has been going on. So they're in an impasse. I still do believe, because even though Juwan Jennings thinks he's worth that money, he's not going to get it. He asked for trade. He's not going to get it. He's under contract. And as I've told you, week 1, if and when he doesn't show up, A, he's going to get fined, and B, he's going to lose a game check. Money that he probably believes he's going to get back, but the 49ers are not going to trade him. And as they continue to get healthy, and here's the one thing here, if Juwan doesn't show up, and I still think he's going to, because he doesn't want to lose game checks, but if Juwan does not show up, if you go back a number of years, it could be the Emmitt Smith situation where, remember years ago, Emmitt couldn't get his contract in the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys started out 0-2? And what happened from there was the Cowboys got desperate, and they went, oh, my God, we got to have this guy back. We're going to pay him. The difference here is the Cowboys were a certified Super Bowl contender. A lot of veterans on their team. They didn't have a lot of years left, and this was in 93. So they already won Super Bowls, but they were trying to extend that thing. And Jerry just said, fine, I give in, and they started 0-2. The Niners are going, hey, we just got rid of Debo. We just got rid of $20 million in that room. We're not real happy with the Ayuk contract. We really don't want to put money in that room like that. And by the way, Juwan Jennings, you're not what Debo Samuel was. He's not what Brandon Ayuk is when he's healthy. Juwan Jennings, let's all be honest here, he might be a top 25 NFL receiver when healthy, when going, when rocking, when rolling. You could make a case that Ayuk's top 10, top 12. You can't make a case like that for Juwan Jennings. He's a really nice player. He fits what the Niners do. He blocks his ass off. He's tough. He's big. He's everything the Niners want in a receiver. He fits this team and scheme well, but he's maybe top 25, maybe. And they're not going to give a receiver like that $20 million. So that's the story on that situation. So if you want to talk about that, we can do that. I'm just double checking to make sure. And I'm trying to get through things quickly, and I apologize. I only got about 2 or 3 more minutes. Let me play this, because at the beginning, I did the whole thing. We're going to talk more about uniforms. You probably saw this today. Let me hit this for you.
Just at Applebee's in my area boots, wearing my John Deere hat, driving my Toyota in there.
Posting this on Twitter right now. My wife's gonna love those photos. So are my TikTok followers.
So my thought is, what do you think? That is my question. What do you think of the Rivalries uniforms? I don't know if you saw the other teams. The Seahawks look like the Oregon Ducks. I mean, they've got these things on their shoulder pads or whatever, and they look like the feathers, but they say that it's like the sound coming from the 12s. It's horrible, and it's got like green, and the numbers look like Oregon. So they look like the Oregon Ducks after dark. The Rams were completely bored by it and just basically put black instead of white on their helmets. It's yellow and black, and on the uniform it's black and blue, and it's horrendous. And the Cardinals did this thing where they're white, and then it's like a sandstorm on the jersey. They're terrible, and it's like a white helmet, which the helmet isn't bad. So it's better than what baseball does. If we're grading on a curve, it's certainly better than what the Giants did. And if you're grading on a curve, it's the AFC East and NFC West that did this year, the Rivalries uniforms. And it's much better than baseball. And the Niners in general, which they're good, not great uniforms. I don't love black. The Dolphins went black in a team that could, have a lot of fun with colors and everything. Rams went with a black uniform. And if they didn't go black, they went white. So Bills went white. Dolphins went black, Rams went black, Cardinals went white. Like, I don't know. It's not the greatest, but they never do the greatest with these things. I don't mind the Niners. It's just, they're just okay. I had an inkling that they were going to go black and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I would have liked something different. I love the color palette of red, white, gold. And I think that anything that takes the gold helmet away is a negative, but whatever. Again, I say this all the time. I'm not the demographic. It's going to sell. People are going to buy it. It's cool. And like I said, grading on a curve, it might be the best one in the NFL. Don't love it. But again, it might grow on me because anything new that comes out, everyone goes, and they just don't like it just by nature. So anyway, it's all right. I mean, again, everybody's different. Like Anthony's like, I like the helmet, and that's totally cool, man. It's not like they're horrendous or anything. Like when the Giants came out, I was like, oh my God, what are they doing? It's not like that. Here, I got this video too.
Settle. Well, we do that for the faithful too. That's when we wear black.
Anyway, you get the idea. I do like the saloon font, saloon font, not salon font. I do like the saloon font. It is nice. So, look, they're not horrendous. They'll look cool. A lot of people are like, oh, they're kind of like the black ones from, when Kaepernick and Bill and Willis and all that. No, they're far different than that. But, I think black and white is a little bit played out. But, it's cool. It's fine. They're not horrendous. Like I said, Seattle looks like the Oregon Ducks. The Rams didn't even try. The Cardinals just put a bunch of brown specks on their uniform and threw on a white helmet. So, there wasn't a whole lot of thought in some of these. So anyway, there is uniforms, and certainly I'm not one to talk. Look at me. I am not exactly a fashionista. Now, am I? And finally, this I thought was funny today. So for all the talk of the demise of the 49ers, right? When it comes down to, and I always tell people this, you know what? You can blab and say this and that about your team. Put your money where your mouth is. Well, this is Vegas, and they don't exactly like to lose money. So if you look at the first four right there, predictions of what Vegas says, that's Niners in first place, Niners in first place, Niners in first place, Niners in first place. You'd have to go all the way down to 16-1 odds to find an order in the NFC West that is not Niners in first place. So what Vegas says is, and they're pretty decent at this, winning money that is, they think the Niners are going to win the NFC West by, and again, plus 850 on those first two. But it's pretty overwhelming if you look at you go down the line on this whole thing. I got that sent to me today. So at least from a Vegas perspective, as of today, the Niners' demise has been greatly exaggerated. So there you go. I'm sorry that I don't have more time tonight. I wanted to get in about an hour. We only got in about 20 minutes, and I apologize. I hope you at least talked amongst yourself, and it was mildly entertaining, and probably as entertaining as what I have provided to you tonight. I will do much better tomorrow night. I promise you. Promise. We were delayed a little bit in the airport, and if I don't leave in the next couple of minutes here, I'll probably miss my flight, and that would not be good. The missus probably actually wouldn't mind that whatsoever, but would like to get home tonight at some point. So anyway, thank you for tuning in for a brief edition of John Lund Unleashed. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being patient. I apologize 1,000 times for being late, but they wouldn't let me through security. It's this damn metal leg that I've got going. No, actually, no, it's not. But anyway, thank you for watching on YouTube tonight. Thank you for watching on John Lund Unleashed. Make sure that you please hit us with the like, even though I was late tonight in the airport. It was their fault. Thanks for hitting us with the like tonight. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, and also on the X channel. Thanks for watching at John Lund Radio, and I do have my thing up there on Micah Parsons. We'll hit you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific time. I apologize again for being late, and I'll be back in the Crazy Man studio tomorrow, so there'll be no excuses for a better and longer show. Everybody have a wonderful Thursday night. I love you deeply.